Good day, class. This lesson is over 1.2, order of operations. Before we go over order of operations, you first need to remember how to use powers. Okay? Powers are used to shorten how you represent repeated multiplications, such as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. We're going to represent that with an exponent or a power. So what number is repeated, okay, is your base number. Okay? Right here, your base number is 2. And how many times it's repeated, okay, is your exponent. So this is repeated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So this is 2 to the 6th power. Okay, a couple vocab words. Okay, 2 to the 3rd, the whole thing is called a power. Okay, the 3, the little number, is called an exponent. And the large number, or the normal size number, is called our base number. Alright, so 10 to the 7th. If I want to write this in what we call expanded form, where I don't necessarily want to solve it right now, but I want to write it in expanded form, we're going to write 10 times 10 times 10. We're going to do that 7 times. Okay, that's expanded form, so it's writing out the exponent. Now, if we want to solve it, okay, we would take 10s times 10 times 10. Now, 10s are easy because how many zeros there are is how many zeros are going to be in the answer. So since it's 10 times 10, 7 times, there's 7 zeros. So my answer is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm putting my commas so it's easy to read. 10 million. So 10 to the 7th is 10 million. Okay. All right, let's look at the next one. 0.2 or 2/10 to the 5th power. So we're going to write 0.2 5 times. Okay. And we're going to multiply those. The easiest thing to do when you have decimals is go ahead and ignore the decimal for a second and go ahead and multiply 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. Okay, so we know 32. The next thing, if you remember when you're multiplying with decimals, is you have to count the decimal places. So we have 1 decimal place, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 decimal places. So we need to make sure the answer has 5 decimal places. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to put in zeros. So there's 2/10 to the 5th power. All right, now to go on to order of operations, okay? We all know PEMDAS, right? Parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, whichever comes first, addition and subtraction. The thing that's going to be a little different is instead of just parentheses, we're going to make that a grouping, okay? It's a grouping, a bracket, a fraction, a square root. Okay, all those are grouping symbols. So we're going to first do the grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Right? Then we're going to simplify the powers, multiply and divide, and add and subtract, just in that order. Everything's normal, except instead of just thinking parentheses, remember, it's grouping symbols. Okay? So on the first one here, okay, we have 6 minus 2 to the 3rd power divided by 2. So if we look, are there any grouping symbols? Okay, yes, it's 6 minus 2, so we need to do that. 6 minus 2 is 4, and I'm going to bring down everything I did not use. Okay. Now, there's no more grouping symbols. Okay, are there any exponents? Okay, yes, there is an exponent, 4 to the 3rd power. So 4 to the 3rd power is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. I'm going to go ahead and bring down my divided by 2. Okay. And now the last operation is 64 divided by 2, which is 32. Okay. All right, next one. This one is a little different. I put this on purpose, okay, because this is a division problem, and whenever you have division, what's in the numerator and the denominator are grouped together. They won't always have parentheses, but what's in the numerator is grouped together, so you have to do that before you can divide. So we have 2 to the 4th minus 1. That's inside of parentheses, so we have to take 2 to the 4th first before we subtract. So 2 to the 4th is 16 minus 1. Okay, and that's still grouped. We're going to divide that by 5. Okay. Now 16 minus 1 is 15 divided by 5, which is 3. Okay. So grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication, and division, whichever one comes first from left to right, and then adding and subtracting, whichever one comes first left to right. Okay. All right, last thing we're going to do is we're going to find the value of an expression. So if you notice, these have a lot of variables. But in the directions, I tell you x equals 5 and y equals 2. So what you have to do here before you can solve them is you have to do substitution. So this says x equals 5. So everywhere there's an x, I'm going to put a 5. Okay, bring down my 12. Now here is a y, and y is 2, so I'm going to put a 2 here. Okay, and then we follow exactly what the last slide said. We're going to do grouping first. Is there any grouping symbols? There's not. So we're going to do exponents. Now there's 2 exponents here, and we can do them at the same time. So 5 squared is 25. Notice I'm bringing down what operations I did not do. And then 2 squared is 4. Okay. Now we have addition, subtraction, and division. Okay, and we're going to do division next. Okay, so 12 divided by 4 is 3. So I'm going to bring everything down. All right. Now addition and subtraction are both in there. Which one are we going to do first? Okay, we're going to do the addition first because it comes first. Okay, if you look at an equation from left to right, you do which one comes first if you have both addition, subtraction, or multiplication and division. So 25 plus 5 is 30, and then minus 3 is 27. On the next one, we still have x equals 5 and y equals 2. So we're going to go ahead and do the substitution. Remember, when it says find the value, it means find the answer. So anytime you see value, think answer. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute, parentheses. Now here we have an x and y together. When we have 2 letters together, that means that it's multiplication. So this is going to be 5 times 2 to the second power divided by, and then again we have x times y. So that's going to be 5 times 2 again. Okay. So do we have any grouping symbols? Okay, here's our grouping symbol. Okay, so we need to take 5 times 2 and we get 10. I'm going to bring down the 2 because I didn't use it. I'm going to bring down division and then 5 times 2. Okay, so now no more grouping symbols, so now we have to look for exponents. We have an exponent, so 10 to the second power is 100. Bring down my division, 5 times 2. Now here we have multiplication and we have division. So we go left to right. Which one comes first when we're looking left to right? Division comes first, so I need to divide. 100 divided by 5 is 20. Bring down my 2. Okay, and then 20 times 2 is 40. Okay, so my answer to that problem is 40. Okay, and that's probably going to be one of the more difficult ones you see. Okay, remember it's grouping, exponents, multiplication or division, and then addition or subtraction. Have a great day.